speaking of small towns in Texas, because I think we all seen this, and I'll interrupt Clay's movie trip right now. King of the Hill came back this week with a new
Woo!
season. They dropped 10 episodes. Now, Jeff, how many did you? I do see it on your list. How many did you get through?
3. I
Uh,
got the first 3.
the first three. Okay.
I've
Yeah.
seen
Well,
7.
we went to the okay. So I finished the whole thing this whole week. The
Yeah.
first sitting I watched 5 and I was like I need to stop because I will watch all 10. Um, it's really fun. Like it's really good. I was like, I felt like a part of me was like, well, they're just gonna like really poke fun at Texas, but I think the show instead manages to show you like not everyone's a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Like there's nice people that live here, and some of them have weird ideals. Like Dale's character obviously just got
Yeah.
intensified to the max. But I love it because you see even in the intro, you just kind of see what's been happening. I didn't even remember the end of King of the Hill, like that he went. I don't know if that's what happened at the end that he went to.
No. Well, they actually showed him out of order. The last episode is really an episode where Hank hosts a grill, a picnic over at his place, a barbecue, and just grills
Okay.
for like everybody that's been on the show. And then I
Yeah.
think they had 3 more episodes after that.
Yeah, and I really love how Bobby centric the show was because I feel like the show was always about Bobby. I think.
Yeah.
And him and his relationship with his dad. So, yeah, I really liked it. They have really they just really updated it or kind of continued. They didn't even update it. They just kind of continued. It felt like a natural progression of where those characters would go from when
Yeah.
the show ended to now, right? So,
I
It
love
made
it
me. It
because
made
I
me.
love Texas stories, and they're and Arlen's based on Garland, Texas, the Garland Richardson border, and I feel like they just updated it with like the things that we've got, like the technology and stuff, and how maybe it doesn't always benefit us to the best of our abilities, and maybe has created isolation for us at home, especially for Bill. Bill's greatest line is, "I watched all of Netflix."
That was so funny when he said that.
are you still
Told
watching?
me.
So which are the first 3 episodes, Jeff? Do you want to remind me of that? Because we can talk a little bit more about those. Everything's
Uh,
now one big episode for me in my head. Like it's
yeah.
just
So
season.
the first one, they get home. They come back home from Saudi Arabia, Hank
Oh,
and they kind
the
of get reacclimated to.
the whole not being able to turn
Yeah.
pretty
Yes.
hard. Like I don't know if that happens in other cities, but like it's just because it's not even neighborhoods. There was like we have so much construction going on everywhere here
Yeah.
that
It's crazy.
not being able to turn into your house, it's very like right now I can't turn into my house because the street right in front of my house is closed. There's like, well, only access if you live here. So like I have to go ways around, and now the school's starting back up. Like I have to go all the way out. Otherwise, I got to stand at a light for a long, long time. That was relatable. So yeah,
So that was the first episode. The second one's the beer one. They have a
oh
beer
yeah,
competition, and then the third one is the propane versus the charcoal.
Charcoal.
Yeah. Uh, I like it. It hits a little too close to home for me because I'm like, oh, I can walk outside and live this like really, because it is based on Garland. And I'll tell you where it hit home is like the first episode. Bobby's making he's in his restaurant and he's making the sushi for all those kids at the table, and they are like all the college kids, and they're like, "Hey, do you go to school?" And he's like, "No, I opened up my own restaurant. I'm having a great time." And all the kids are like, "Oh, you're not going to school?" And in my head, in that moment, I was like, I don't know if college kids would do that. Like most college kids would be like, "Yeah, why would you want to go to school?" Literally in my head, I go, unless they're from SMU. And then like 10 minutes later, you find out they're from SMU, and I'm like, this show is just too much for me. Like it's too,
yeah.
like I live in it, and I'm just like, it kind of like. Yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah, Bobby's restaurant feels like it's in the Greenville, like on Greenville Avenue.
Greenville
Like it feels
Avenue,
like it would
yeah.
fit in right there, right?
Yeah.
And
I-
who here knows a Chain Wasana song guy who just talks about his dad and everything his dad does, and his dad can get this done, kind of character. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing also that always tripped me up about the show is that in this show they kind of make it seem like, well, I guess in the show all the time they make it seem like Arlen is far away from Dallas, but if it's based on like Garland Richardson, like that's not a day trip for me. Like that's like you just drive out there. I mean, there's traffic enough to make it
it's still
seem
gonna be
like
45 minutes in traffic to an hour.
But it's not like, because there's one episode where like Peggy has to stay in Dallas because of something with Bobby.
I've thought about it before. Like there have been times when I've gone from Carrollton to Dallas, and I'm like, I'm just gonna get a hotel room, and I'm not gonna bother. Like, why? I should also mention that I went to SMU. That's why it hit so hard. Like where I was like, the snooty SMU kids. Yeah. So I'm like, only a snooty SMU kid would say something like that, and then it turned out to be that they were from SMU. So I was like, oh, that's what. And then also it kind of made me weirdly not sad, but to see cartoon characters get old. Like I'm like, I don't know if I like that. I don't. There's something weird about that.
Boomhauer looks the oldest.
Yeah, because that man's always out in the sun. He's always tanning,
leathered.
Yeah. I love that Peggy has still not conquered any language. As long as she lived in Saudi Arabia, she still can't even pronounce Saudi Arabia. Like Peggy's confidence is still like my favorite thing. Like she just won't admit she doesn't know Spanish, and like further on, like I love. There's an episode later where her and Dale have to work together on something, and I loved that episode a lot. So like I think it's like the 7th episode.
I was never a big fan of the Peggy centric episodes, but I think they finally got it in a good spot where it's interesting enough. Where like, oh yeah, this is very interesting, as opposed to, I feel like the problems she had to solve in the original series were not as interesting, whereas this one kind of makes sense and actually ties into the whole message of this whole season. So
well, I mean, the first episode ends with I think what they want to say through this whole run, which is being nice is nice.
Yeah.
And that is the perfect way. And then you see like Hank kind of adapting, like the changing of the cookie names, and that like, oh, well, it's Hank, not something that he gets upset about, because he just kind of goes, oh, that's what we do now.
Hank giving that poor Lyft driver 4 stars. So he has something to work on.
Always room for improvement.
The other thing is like, I know people like that too. Like he like, yeah, no, like you can always do better. Yeah. So
I used to have a boss who would give reviews like that, and I'd just be like,
yeah. But yeah, King of the Hill, pretty good. I do regret to inform everybody that this is Jeff's last show. Public universities only in this show. Jeff's like, what the hell?
Mr. SMU.
I'm still paying for it.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can stay then.
Yeah, I love all the Bobby storylines. I love that he has so much of Hank in him, that especially like when he confronts certain things that he's just like weirded out by. Later there's an episode where he talks with Connie and Connie's relationship, and how they're in this kind of weird relationship. And he's just like, what? Like he doesn't understand, like, I guess more of the open relationship, standards that are in our society now. And so he still has a lot of traditional values that his dad gave him. And
that is one thing that I do say about, like, I don't think college is a necessity as far as like for you to be able to make a living, but socially, just learning how to interact socially and opening your mind to a lot of different ideas. Yeah, that is something that, at least when I was in college, was a good thing. Like, because you break out of that shelter. So like Bobby never had that experience, so he, like, his values were never confronted up until later at these kind of things. So yeah, don't go to college for
education.
Don't worry about education.
But if you just go to hang out,
yeah, make sure that you have a good social experience, because that's really what it's about. That learning how to navigate with different types of people in the real world. That is probably the best thing. I don't know if you need to pay $60,000 to $100,000
No.
to do that, but community college helps. There's other places you can go. Just So, all right.